Good morning. It's 7. I'm on my way to the gym right now, and as you can see, it's still quite dark out. So Andrea and I continue to work our way through the Bible. We're nearing the end of Exodus, and I suspect as we continue to work through, we're going to continue to find stuff which makes me think. So we're in the 30s now, so we're just about done with Exodus, which has I believe 40 chapters. But so Moses went up the mountain, I believe Mount Sinai, and he's been communing with God for weeks. And God provides him these fabulous etched tablets. And the Bible even says it, God himself wrote upon the tablets, which is pretty divine, right? Literally by the definition. And, that's right, we got road work up here. So God provides these tablets to Moses, and he's left Aaron over the Israelites who escaped from Egypt. Now, remember, they've been gone for years and years. They've been toiling together, living in this desert, suffering. They were slaves, and now they're free. So they've not had good lives, right? And Aaron is Moses' older brother, right? And he and Moses are essentially the elders. They appointed all of these, what did they call them? Judges, I believe. And they are to oversee the people and help them to manage their affairs when they have disagreements and things like that. So they've been in these positions of elderhood for a very long time. We're talking about decades. And what happens? But Moses comes back down and he throws these tablets down in anger because he's so infuriated by it, because they built this golden calf. So he breaks down the calf, he melts it down, he turns it into powder, puts it in the water, and makes them all drink it. So he's mad, right? He's really mad about it. And God is incensed by this. But Andrea and I, we were kind of laughing because it's like the people, it's like they just got bored. And they're like, oh, Moses has been gone for a few weeks. We don't even know where he is. Build us this God that we may worship it. That's essentially the language that the Bible uses, which is kind of incredible and kind of retarded. Like, if you think about it, they've been at it all of these years, and they know that it's God, and they've been told by Moses and by Aaron, God himself is in a pillar of fire leading them away from the Egyptians and leading them through the Red Sea and lighting the night for them, this pillar of fire that they can escape. And they're like a bunch of Zoomer kids, a bunch of Gen Z kids. They're like, oh, hey, Aaron, we're bored. Build us a God that we may worship it. Aaron's like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, why not? Give me your gold earrings and your wife's gold earrings. And then he melts them down, and he himself tools this calf, if I'm understanding it correctly. Like, Aaron himself did it. And that was the first thing that I did not remember from all the times reading it, is like, there was no real justifiable reason for them to ask for this, other than they were just bored. And then Aaron builds it, and if I remember, Aaron is like, okay, here you go, here's the God who led you out of Egypt, and it's just a cow, right? A gold calf. And then they're all worshiping it. And now the other thing that I observed was the Bible used a very specific word, because they were unrestrained, because Aaron did not restrain them pertaining to the building of this calf, right? They were unrestrained. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of talk about is, has the idea of being bored and turning to some sort of idolatry really gone away for society? And I don't think it has. Imagine you're a young Gen Z man. There's this ancient expression, idle hands makes the devil's work, or something to that effect. If you're a young man these days and you're bored, what do you turn to? You turn to idols, essentially. You turn to playing video games, to pornography and masturbation. You turn to, probably less than good sources of information like, Reddit or X or Blue Sky. You turn to worldly individuals who probably are not good influences on you. Oh, there's a deer. Holy crap. In town. You turn to idolatry, essentially. And I am a firm believer that idolatry, and I preached on it in church, I don't know, a month ago. Almost exactly a month ago. I am a firm believer that idolatry is extremely prevalent in our lives. There's a reason it was the first commandment, because God knows our hearts. He knows we get bored. He knows how we think. Look at the way mankind has treated money and gold for thousands of years. We idolize it. So that's the first lesson that I sort of saw out of it, is they were just bored. And it was just a couple weeks. And they're like, hey, we're bored, make us this golden calf. And Aaron just went along with it like a fool. Mind your boredom. Be disciplined. There's nothing wrong with playing some video games or reading a book or watching a movie. But be mindful, cognizant of your heart and what you're focused on, that it does not develop into an idol that comes before God and offend God, right? Now, the second thing is, because they were unrestrained, because Aaron had not restrained them, this is another reminder that the Bible talks about discipline exceedingly. To have discipline, right? And that ties in directly with the young men who are bored and all of that. Oh, I'm bored, so I'm going to masturbate and watch some pornography. Or I'm going to, read some untoward things on Reddit. Or I'm going to play video games. I'm going to play Fortnite for 8 hours straight, right? Because they were undisciplined, they turned to this God. Unrestrained, and Aaron had not restrained them. That, I think, is a subtle reminder. If you are in a position of power over others, a head of household, for example, it is your unfortunate duty to restrain those people in your household sometimes. If you have children or a wife who are out of line and they need to be restrained because what they are doing is unpleasant in God's eyes, you need to lead your household. And it goes, in an office setting as well, less so, but as a leader, it's your job to restrain people sometimes. But you're not always in a leadership position, and that's where the other part is. When you are in a subservient position, a steward of a household perhaps, you also should be willing to be restrained. You cannot be calling for the blood of your leaders at all times just because you can't get your way. You also have to be subservient. But anyway, this is 9 minutes long. I didn't want that, but I just wanted to talk about that. That was some interesting observations I had this morning as we went through, and I thought there was an excellent lesson in there. I love the messages about idolatry. It's always a good reminder for us. But I hope you all have a God-blessed day, and stay in the Word.